Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Hustlers. I've got Bout Fitness on today, Kane and Estelle. Pretty excited for this one. Roll that intro, baby.
I'm about to blow. I gotta stay on my hustle, you know that I'm grinding for sure. I came up right from the bottom, now they see me chasing my goals. Now they see me on the go, yeah. Now they see me on the road. It's time to hustle, yeah, it's time to grow. I'ma shoot for the stars and we aim for the gold. It's time to hustle, yeah, it's time to grow.
What's up, guys?
How we doing?
Pretty excited for this one. Obviously, these guys are our sponsor, so we'll start off with that. Obviously, this is brought to you by Bout Fitness. We're in Bout today. We're in the gym. Come in if you want to join up. Mention Hustlers. You get a $0 joining fee. Save yourself $50 your first week free. You're about to see why you want to try this out. So, we obviously caught a bit of a midday gap, which is good. Not often that this place is quiet, eh?
No, definitely around the midday, it's time for us to sort of zone out.
Yeah. Do you guys want to just start by sort of telling a bit about yourselves? Obviously, Estelle, you start.
Yeah. Estelle, I am 34, getting old. Feeling not old though, so that's good. I'm originally from Palmerston North. I went to high school there and then I studied at Massey University. I've got a bachelor's degree in marketing and sports management.
Oh, right, yeah.
So really handy. Happy to say that I'm actually using my student loan.
Yeah.
Which is nice when you're still paying it off. This is my passion, I guess. I've always been into sports, in every sports team growing up, and then started my martial arts journey through Tae Kwondo, and that's how I met this guy. And then, yeah.
Hit it off. Don't judge me, I'm from Upper Hutt in Wellington.
Oh.
Nice, come on, it's a nice place. I've done my bachelor's in sports science down in Wellington and then Palmerston North. And yeah, pretty much just from there, we've sort of grown with sport and taekwondo and what we have now as a result of all that. It's sort of everything seems to have gone at a quick pace.
Yeah.
I don't know, like everything's, now that I'm sort of reflecting back on it now, I'm just like, how does everything just happen?
Because how long ago did you start it?
The Mount one is just over 3 years old.
Right.
And PAP is just turned 2 last week. Yeah.
I feel like a lot's happened in that time, but
Yeah.
like, it doesn't sound long, but like I feel like a lot has happened.
Well,
Yeah.
it isn't.
Yeah.
Like in terms of business, it's not very long, man.
No.
Like,
No,
especially to
it's
what
not.
you've achieved already.
Yeah.
Like,
But how our life, before we started, we were in Aussie with no kids, and now,
Yeah.
2 gyms, 2 kids.
Because, yeah.
so how'd you end up here? Like, what brought you to the Mount? And
We were in Aussie, so we went to Brisbane for like 3 years. And then we were like, okay, we saved up, we're going to come open a gym. And we weren't going to go back to Palmy or Wellington after,
No disrespect to anyone who lives down
after
those
living
ways
in
still.
Brisbane.
We got married though. We got married in
Yeah.
PAP, and so that's the first time I've really been sort of exposed to this area.
Oh,
and it was
yeah.
like, I guess like having lived in Brisbane and been exposed to like that climate, we wanted to come back to New Zealand somewhere
Yeah.
similar, I guess, and we
Yeah,
would sort of
right.
associate that with like Brisbane.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we got married in PAP, and
And,
then
yeah.
we were like, this cool place, like why not?
Yeah.
We
right.
had the choice to set up, like our families are everywhere, so we had the opportunity to just set up wherever we wanted, and
Yeah.
we were just like, this is probably the coolest place in New Zealand,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
let's go there.
Well, I don't blame you. So when you sort of came here, did you just try and find somewhere that you could start it, or did you have sort of a vision on where you wanted to start it, or?
We did a lot of research on whether we wanted to be in the city, in Mount or in PAP, and we chose Mount for our first location, and then we were staying with family in Gizzy at the time, and so we were just doing trips back and forth, like
Gizzy.
yeah,
Jesus.
day trips, because we were so poor because we didn't want to spend any of our money on.
Yeah.
We had it all for the business, and we were just like, we need to keep that. So we'd just come over, look at a place, for lease, and usually it'd be like, nah, that's not going to work, go home.
Yeah.
And we did that for a while, for like probably
took a
4
bit.
months.
Took a bit, yeah. It's not just like places available, you know, all the time. So
Yeah.
you just that was, I guess, the hard part was just like not knowing, not really having a time frame, waiting for something to be available. But in fairness, it didn't actually take too long. We were quite lucky, I think. Yeah, we spotted a place just next door before we moved into this premise.
Yeah,
so
right, yeah.
yeah, grew from there.
How did you, so how does it go with sort of the equipment and that? Do you kind of just have to save up a bunch and get it all, or because gym equipment's not cheap?
Yeah, at the start it was, I mean, a lot of it is still with us, like the dumbbells, kettlebells, you know, they're going to, you know, stick around. It's things like dead balls and sandbags you have to replace a bit. But for the most part, all the gear is still stuck around from when we first opened, which is nice.
Right.
Yeah.
It's pretty
And
good like that.
that was us. And when we were in Aussie, we were just like, we worked out, you know, did a obviously forecasting budget and everything, and this is how much it's going to cost us to start up, and we just had to save our butts off while we were there, and then
So if you throw it back, you guys met through Taekwondo.
Yeah.
So you obviously got a big passion in that, or you've had a big history in it. So was it 10 years or something you said? 10 years you've been involved in New Zealand?
10 years competing, yeah. I mean, we probably both started 8 or 7.
Yeah, I was 7.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, put some time in, but like competing internationally and stuff, probably about 10 years.
Yeah. And so how'd you find that? Like,
oh, awesome.
Yeah.
It was like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. You know, you're doing your OE essentially. Like we were quite lucky, like to go see the world and compete at the same time. Like,
right.
Spoiled like that, I guess.
Yeah.
That was one of the best things sort of Taekwondo brought to us, because not many sports like have that option or opportunity for people.
Awesome.
So like to have like a trip overseas lined up every year is pretty mean. And then competing at the same time has been pretty cool. So yeah, every year would be a World Cup or a World Championship. So it was pretty cool to train for.
What's your sort of best achievement in terms of Taekwondo, personally?
I won the 2012 World Cup in female microweight sparring.
Jesus, the World Cup.
Yeah, so that was
Big
pretty
division,
cool.
eh?
Yeah, it was. I think I had like 8 fights to win, and I was the first female in New Zealand to win it. So that was pretty crazy.
Well, it must be. What's the feeling like winning a World Cup, especially in like an individual sport? Like that's next level to a team sport.
It was massive. I went through about 6 world champs leading up to that, just losing first round. So Taekwondo's like a knockout draw. So you go, you spend a year training, you spend like 10 grand,
wow.
10 grand of our parents' money. So lots of pressure. And if you lose your first fight, that's it, you go home.
Oh, no way.
So yeah, you have to like make your way through the draw, obviously.
How many like to get to sort of a final usually?
Yeah, so I think I had 6 in the World Cup to get through to a final. And yeah, I went from losing first round for like 6 years in a row, just like straight to winning.
Oh,
and so it was
Stars aligned.
I was just stoked to be like in the final. Like I really wasn't that fussed on the outcome. I was just like, this is just insane. Like,
Just feel like I need to interject there, because at what point did you start succeeding? I think it had something to do with my presence there. So I think good coaching was going on there, I think.
it was pretty cool, like to do it together. Like Kane was my coach, like right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that was pretty amazing, eh?
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
What about you?
So I've medalled and won a few golds in some team events, which were quite special. My last outing, when was that? 2015.
Italy.
That was always going to be my last world champs, and I always push for the medals for individual sparring. And the middleweight division's cutthroat. Like there's so many studs in that division, and unfortunately, I've always just been on the cusp. You know, I've always made quarters, and that was no different in that particular time. But I think I'm actually proud of my performance. Like I put in the work, and I was actually really proud of how I performed. And I was like, you know what, I couldn't have done any better. Fought some good competition. So despite the medals, I was probably like, you know, that's something that lingers, and I feel quite proud of actually. So
you would be, especially like let's say quarterfinals at a world champs for
Yeah.
your sport.
Yeah, it's like top.
That's what the top 8.
Top 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 1, 2.
I think I
Yeah.
still feel like I won that fight though, but
Oh, those ones.
I'm one of
Still
those guys.
holding
Yeah,
on.
grudges. No.
So what took you guys to took you to Brisbane?
My
Both
parents
for
were there,
study,
yeah.
yeah.
We finished our studies,
Finished taekwondo at that point.
finished Taekwondo. We wanted to go earlier, but we didn't want to represent Australia. So we stayed until we wanted to retire from Taekwondo. My parents were there and we were just like, sweet, okay.
Yeah.
We knew we wanted to open something of our own.
Right.
And that was just the best way to like save quick cash, you know,
Yeah.
to really just get stuck into it. And it was just an awesome time too. The weather and we loved it there.
Is a lot of this stuff like Taekwondo inspired, or in terms of your training that you used to do?
We definitely, like, this was almost how we used to prep for competition. You know, the intervals are quite similar, so it's like 3 minutes on, 30 seconds off. Taekwondo was similar. So in preparation, we would always have that sort of a mix, with the weighted training and
We
bag
used to
setups
make
and
our
stuff.
own like
Yeah, the
looking
shitty
back at
little
them now, we'd be like, what were we doing?
What do you mean?
We'd make our own like little circuits like this,
Oh yeah.
you know, but we'd have like one
No
kettlebell
gear.
and like it'd be the same weight for me and Kane and
You make
40
it
other
work.
people in our gym.
Yeah.
What you had?
And we'd just make these crazy little things, but we're just like, just to get us fit as real fast.
Yeah.
And then this is kind of just the bigger scale of it.
And where'd the name come from?
So,
I woke up one morning, I was thinking about names, and it's sort of like you can refer to like a boxing fight or a Muay Thai fight as a bout. Like one fight is considered a bout. But you can also reference it to something like high intensity interval training. So you do a bout of high intensity interval training. So it sort of just stuck with me. It wasn't
Right,
sort of cliche. It wasn't anything like that. And
we were gonna go with the engine room, eh?
The engine
I was going to say that as any other name I did.
Yeah, it was the engine.
Terrible idea.
And it's funny because
The engine room.
terrible idea.
we put a poll out I put like a poll out on Facebook to get all our friends and family to
Yep.
to like vote, and Bout got like no. Like engine room
Right.
won by like 80-something%. It was crazy.
My brother's clued on, and he rated Bout, and it's like I valued his opinion.
Yeah.
He helped with a lot of the marketing
He
and stuff.
did the design, the logo, and everything like that. So he said even just like little things. He was like 4-letter word. Pops looks mean.
Yeah.
I was like, cool, I'm gonna
like
listen
Nike,
to
you know,
Yeah,
like
that's
short.
what I was going to say. You think about like names of big things that you think, oh, what would that have been? Ages ago, you would have been like, what the hell is that? Like Adidas, like what the hell would that have been? It's like what you kind of make the name, eh?
you.
Yeah,
definitely,
totally.
definitely.
And you've done something with it. What about the logo?
Yeah, so
His
like
brother?
that again, that was my brother. It actually represents a fist, and because it sort of interlinks, there's the circuit sort of a thing going on there with the fist. So yeah, it's sort of a flowing circuit, rolling circuit as this is,
All right, yeah.
and that's sort of mixed in with the fist with the boxing side of it. So
Yeah.
thought that was quite cool. Not actually many people know that, but
Yeah.
quite interesting.
And then that the whole like linking was, you know how in school you learnt like the like sides of the like house, like well-being, mental, and all of that. So it's kind of like that as well, like just like a full circuit of bringing everything together, not just fitness, you know.
Yeah,
but
culture and
mental,
people
culture,
and
people, yeah.
because you've like that's something that I think, and I talk to everyone that obviously I come here, so I talk to everyone about like what I notice about this place the most, and it's the culture and the feeling when you're here. Like everyone's so like happy and enjoying it, and everyone is like around each other and enthusiastic and supportive, and everyone just likes to help each other out. And you obviously have your events outside of this. You got one on Saturday. You got your Battle of the Bouts, which I regret not coming to.
Next one.
Actually, talk about that. So you run a Battle of the Bouts once a year?
Yeah,
Twice. I would do
twice.
two
twice.
team events at this point in time, you know, and we did an individual event not that long ago, which was cool. So it was like top 5 male and female from each club.
Yeah.
And just battled it out.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So what did you come up with? How'd you come up with that?
We just wanted to get people another way to get involved as well, into something like that. Like we obviously got that competitive side to ourselves with Taekwondo and Muay Thai, etc. So that was another sort of element chucked in there to be able to do something like that, but on a scale that all our members could do. So it wasn't specific to anyone. And then who doesn't love a championship belt? Yeah. So we're like, let's get an actual belt. And Pat versus Mount, it just sort of made sense. Yeah.
I think it's kind of changed now too, though. Like at the start, like we did it for that competitive kind of vibe. Yeah. But now, like after seeing the last one especially, I was like, this isn't actually about like who's the best and who's the fittest. Yeah. It's about like these people who do it for the first time and who never thought they would ever do something like that.
Out of their comfort zone.
Totally out of their comfort zone, challenging themselves. And then they do something in the battle, like they do a box jump that they've never done before. And then they go back into the gym and they're like, oh man, sweet. They've got this confidence and they're like, actually, I can do this, I can do this. Like, yeah, and it was massive. Like this one, we had a whole bunch of new mums come and do it for the first time. And that was just like the coolest thing ever to see them just like supporting each other and just being like proud of themselves. Like, it was really cool.
I think that like vulnerability is like a massive one, like, and growth comes from that all the time. And that's probably a big thing about this place too. Like you coming in, like. Every time I come in, I feel vulnerable because I'm like, I'm about to get dusted. But for some reason, it's rewarding at the end and you feel like you want to do it again, sort of thing. And you just keep growing from there. Yeah. When did you decide that it was time to sort of go out and scale to the PEP one as opposed to just the Mount?
I felt like it just sort of formed naturally, Like the Mount actually got to a place where it was at full capacity. It was a smaller place, so
we had a wait list,
we had a wait list there as well,
crazy. Like
it's so much
never
smaller.
thought it was in our first year too, and then we just had a like massive wait list, which was just like mind blowing. Like never ever did I think we'd open a gym and you would have a wait list of people wanting to get in. Like it was crazy. And a lot of, I think about 50 of our members were traveling from PAP. Yeah. So we're like, okay, we've got a good opportunity to start a new gym with 50 people already because they'll transfer down. And then we ended up opening with like 130, I think, at PAP, which was just...
It was mind-blowing.
Mad,
from
the
get-go.
From the start. Like literally opening day we had. And
we were pumped.
Yeah.
It was just... Holy shit.
It was just all our members had told all their mates and, and they were just raving about it, and that just word of mouth is just the best thing ever for us.
Do you find that obviously with the gym and the way that it's set up that you do have in a sense, a ceiling of like how like you can't have 1 million people join up to this gym because or can you?
No, we're probably pretty close to being max again. Yeah. Here at the Mount.
How many people do you have here?
We've got 270. But the way the circuit runs, it means our classes don't get booked out because it's just flowing through. But it does mean, like, when we get too close to our peak times, we obviously don't want to just keep chucking people in because then the experience for our members, they don't get as much attention from the trainers and stuff. So we stop it before that. We still want that boutique, personal feeling with our members. Yeah. We don't want them to just... we know all our members' names and our trainers know something about all our members. They know what they struggle with, and that's what's so important to us.
That's actually true. I mean, I had an Achilles injury and I came in and I was getting up to a station and I can't remember who it was. And they were like, oh, you can't do this one, because you're Achilles. I was like, what
it's
the hell?
important though. Yeah.
That's so cool. And that's the thing you like remember, And
of course. I'm like, I knew.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, cool. They actually care about me. And yeah.
Are you more like, obviously when you're hiring people, it must be a lot about the person they are as opposed to what they know about gym.
Yeah, they need to be like-minded, I think. Yeah, and you can catch on if you're vibing with someone or not, if they sort of have like the same sort of values as you as well. So,
and we can train them the fitness stuff.
Of course, yeah.
You know, which most of our employees we've hired were members.
Yeah.
Because we see them in the gym, we see how they relate to people, we see how much they love Bout, and you know they rep Bout, and then they became employees through that.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. How did you sort of come up with like pricing and that sort of thing? Like, how do you find like a sweet spot for that? Is it come from like
just research, eh?
Yeah,
just
right.
looking at other gyms in the area, and I guess I did a huge budget at the start with projections and stuff, and to be like, if we have this many members at this price, will we break even?
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
I think we set ourselves up way too low at the start.
Yeah.
Which I think everyone does because they're just scared that we're not going to get the numbers.
Yeah.
And then obviously it has to increase over time with as everything does and stuff like that. Yeah.
With obviously you guys got kids. How many kids you got? Two kids.
Two boys.
Two boys. What are their names?
Tatum and Dustin.
And they are how old? Sorry.
4 and 1.
4 and 1.
Yeah.
Right. So, how do you sort of, obviously they're young, they're still not at school. How do you find like the balance with work and
it was
having
challenging
your
initially, eh?
Crazy,
You know, poor old Tatum was getting dragged to the gym at like 7 a.m. in the mornings when it was just Estelle and I. We didn't have any employees or anything like that. So there were challenges at the start because, you know,
he was like eating his breakfast and just like in the gym reception. It was so cute.
But the members loved it, eh? They loved catching up with Tatum. So there's challenges, eh? But we know what the end goal is, and so you just manage. You just find a way to manage.
I think we're used to it as well. Like we were always juggling study, work, and training. You know, we've never been people who would go home at 5 o'clock and then that's it for the night.
Yeah.
You know, we'd always have something on. So it's just it's just this
good time management,
piece.
bro. Good time management. Yeah.
Organisation is that big for you guys?
Yeah. Plan out the week.
Calendar on the fridge with where everyone's meant to be.
Yeah.
And we've got like linked calendars, so Kane can see where I am, and you know.
Yeah, I've got that set up as well. Actually, with
you need to
Google Calendar or
yeah,
that's good.
So we've got a lashes
meeting
appointment.
Requests.
Oh yeah.
Lashes appointment.
All the important stuff. Hey, we'll schedule that in.
What? So he's only one. So you were pregnant not that long ago. You guys obviously had the gym. I remember seeing you in here like gymming and exercising. Is that massive for like? Do you find benefits in training when you're pregnant? Because I still see, obviously, Courtney, she's still here. She's got 33 weeks and she's still punching it out.
Yeah. So I did my first pregnancy. I didn't really have much of an idea, and the world is still kind of catching up on the benefits of exercising during and after. But so I went out and did a pre and postnatal course, which was awesome. So I did that while I was pregnant with Dustin, and that just gave me a really good insight into what I can be helping our members and supporting our members with. And about just after I was pregnant, like we had there was something in the water. We had 30 girls across the gyms all pregnant. I think there were a lot of COVID babies.
COVID
babies.
Guilty.
So that was really cool, and just giving them the support that it's okay and it's safe, and working with their midwives around it, and now it's just freaking it's just rolled on from that, and it's so cool because they've seen me do it, and then they've seen our staff, Meals, do it, Lily. They were both pregnant just after me. It's just it's so much more normal now, which is so cool.
Well, safety is probably a big thing that I think a lot of women probably struggle with. They don't want to train because they're scared.
They've heard the stories.
So what's the sort of like facts around the safety and that. In
So
terms of
now there's just so much research out now about that. Not only is it safe, it's actually benefits you and your baby during your pregnancy, as long as, of course, you don't have any like underlying health issues or complications with your pregnancy. So when a member comes into us and says, "Hey, I'm pregnant," we're usually like the first people to know, which is quite cool. Because we have to just watch out for them. I just make sure that first go check with your midwife, and if you're all good, no complications, then I kind of follow them through their trimesters, just letting them know like the changes along the way and the adaptations. But, you know, they can do most of the things in here, and there's no like set rules. Like I always get asked, like, do I have to stop box jumps, or do I have to stop sit-ups, or you know, and it's really just about listening to your body and being in tune with it, and you know, you'll know if something feels a bit odd, then just swap it out for something else. But getting away from that mind frame of like, oh, I can't do that, so I'll just stop. You know?
Yeah, trainers are really good at that. Like they'll spot you and
stuff in.
instantly. They're like, let's swap this out and do something that's actually going to be beneficial and productive for you while you're pregnant. So,
and it's important. It's such a hard journey, you know, mentally and physically. And if you can still keep coming to the gym and just having those moments of like feeling good and strong, and you know, it's just so important.
Course, touching on COVID, babies. COVID last year was a pretty messed up time for a lot of businesses, and I mean, for people who like, say for me it was a bit different because obviously e-commerce, and it wouldn't affect me as much as a gym where people come to every day, and that's sort of what you rely on. How do you sort of get through that and stay afloat, and how did that all go?
We're quite fortunate that we got awesome members who supported us. Like, I don't think you get through something like that without support, whether it's the government or your members. But, you know, they certainly helped us out. And we did everything we could on our end to sort of keep them involved and, you know, keep them training throughout the lockdown and everything like that. So we're online doing all that sort of stuff, Zoom workouts, etc. Just trying to keep interacting with them on a regular base, day in, day out, through that sort of thing. And
we had a like Facebook group where the trainers and stuff were just, you know, heaps of content, and
TikTok.
Yeah, that's the one, TikTok.
No, it was scary. Like, holy moly.
What was the feelings going through? Like, what were you feeling when you sort of heard that we were going into lockdown or whatever?
We actually had a meeting and we were like sitting right there. We were having a meeting not even about COVID, like just about it was just like our monthly staff meeting, and we were just sitting there, and then we were like, oh, we should listen to this announcement, and then we were like, okay, scratch everything from that meeting.
Go home.
Yeah, we quickly did.
You're fired.
Yeah, we quickly put a post up and said, anyone who wants some equipment, come and get it. So we like gave out, the gyms were completely empty. Like, people took boxing bags. We just lent it all out to all our members.
Yeah, they actually really appreciated that.
Which was cool. And then and then we made like workouts for them based on the piece of equipment they had. Which was quite cool. Our trainers got stuck into that, and the trainers were awesome too. Like, they were stuck in there at 6 a.m. still. Like, they probably thought, sweet sleep-ins, but they were still getting up at 6 a.m. for Zooms and stuff like that. And it was hard for us and them. Obviously everyone was going through their shit and struggling, and they had to be like the motivator and be like, it's all good, let's go, course, you know? And like, that was pretty hard for us all just to put on a face for everyone else. But got through it. We did. And everyone came like just tight. Became really close. We also became really close with a lot of our members who are small business owners, which was really cool. Like, we all supported each other, and we did a few things like to, you know, help support them if they were still operating in COVID somehow and things like that. And I think we definitely came out better off after that.
I think that's the key, is like helping each other and supporting each other, especially with small businesses. Like, there's so much stuff where, and I get this a lot, and I feel like it's a old school mentality around like trying to keep to yourself, and if someone else is sort of doing well, you're almost like trying to go like you're trying to beat them or you're trying to compete against them, rather than I can help you in these ways and same you can help me, and we can both become better from this. Like there's room for everyone to sort of to succeed.
Yeah, 100%.
With social media, because obviously today's day and age, like social media is massive. How do you guys approach like your social media? Do you have like a how do you say it, like a plan, I guess, or a way you go about it in particular, or how do you do that?
That like it became really evident for me that was our main like how we get members in was Instagram. Like just crazy. We started with flyers and things at the start, and I remember my dad was like giving me shit for spending money on marketing on Instagram, and he was like, you just need to put an ad in the paper. Still like to this day he's like, should have put that ad in, I'm just like, okay. But we have plans that just go in with our marketing campaigns, but honestly we just try and keep it really like real. So we don't like force posts. We don't have like every Tuesday we do this, every Tuesday's Technique Tuesday or whatever,
Nice.
We just try and like something happens, we want to celebrate it, we put it on there. The trainers are all just always taking videos because they see like awesome stuff that they're proud of and that we want to share. The putting up things about our members obviously is the best kind of marketing we can get, because then they share it too.
Of course.
How many followers do they have, you know, and it's so like authentic. It's far better for us to do it that way than to do paid ads and stuff like that.
How did you come up with your ideas of like does someone just get like 500 visits or something, or 300?
We've had a few of those.
We've got
Golden Gloves, is it?
Yep, the Golden Gloves. I think there's 4 that have had 500 now.
You want to be able to reward those people. Like that's a big milestone. Like
100%.
Like Ems, they're all like 3 years of work to get there. So you want to be able to reward people and sort of what better way, like you wear gloves, right? And so it was quite fitting. It made sense.
I thought that was cool. I saw the gloves and I was like, shit, if you're in the gym and you see someone with golden gloves, that person's
some people don't wear them though. Some people just put them on.
Oh, they're like a memorabilia.
Oh, right, Case them up.
Yeah, one girl doesn't want to wear hers.
Auction them off.
But looking after our members is so important, and then that's like the best content too. At the same time, it's a win-win.
And it just sort of all links back, like everything I've sort of talked about always comes back to community and growing this sort of culture around here that I mean, they talk about it in businesses and stuff, that culture is massive. Culture is one of the most important things to create a successful business, and I think you guys have done that pretty awesome.
It's going good. Yeah,
it's definitely our, and then our kind of vision was to create this culture from our sporting background, bringing that into the gym, that, you're not just a random person in here. Like this can be like your sports team, like when you come in and...
It hasn't been hard. Like it's just like it's who we are. We're passionate about what we do, and I think if I can quote the old Zar Lawrence, rule number 1: don't be a dick. And like it's pretty easy. Like you just get on with people and like help people achieve their goals and celebrate the wins, and like just sort of happens.
That's crazy. That quote is on a big. When I do the podcasts up in the studio, there's a big lit up sign when you walk in the door. Don't be a dick.
Yeah, there you go.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
And it's pretty cool because obviously you guys are sponsoring the First 8 podcast, which is awesome, and I'm very grateful that you guys jumped on first. You've already got guys like Monty Beetham and all that are already interested in, like, whenever they're here they want to come in and they want to get around it.
Come in, mate.
He'll definitely be here, bro. I
want to see you go. I've got some changes. I want to see this man go.
See some records.
You hear that, Monty?
Let's go.
You're coming down. Okay, so we put up a Q&A on Instagram. So we had a few questions come through to wrap it up. So the first one was, do you have deals for couples?
We usually do a 2-for-1 joining fee when couples come in.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Your proudest moment? Let's go your
And
proudest
bouts?
moment in general, and then your proudest moment within the business each.
First.
Most proudest general moment, or just since we've spoken about it, it's sort of fresh in my mind. But when you, this is a bit cheesy, but when you won the World Cup, I think there's a photo of me. She ran over, I picked her up. So I think that's sort of fresh in my mind. There's probably going to be a million other things I'm going to think about later, but that's probably a really proud moment nonetheless. And as far as like the business is concerned, I'm proud of it as a whole, as how it's all developed, how where we are now in relation to like the last 3 years, how far we've come. Just everything that's been involved, I think, to get us to this point is what I'm proud of. Yeah, what Bout represents, and
Man. Your made it moment. Oh, sorry, no, you first. Your proudest moment.
bit of pressure now.
I know. Business-wise, I think lately, like I've just had lots of proud moments, but they're all to do with the same thing, and that's kind of how I feel like we've changed from seeing, we wanted to open this gym to see people like get fit and strong and lose weight and be healthier. But now it's literally the most important thing is their mental well-being and the benefits it has on that. We just, you know, all the stories that members tell us aren't about, I lost 10 kilos. It's like, this got me out of a tough, dark place, and I come here every day for my mental well-being, and like, those things are just, I'm so proud of that. We've created something that has that effect on people, and that they come to this safe place and they can feel that. That's really cool.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I like that.
I think that's a testament to both your guys' character, that your proudest moment is nothing to do with the growth in the business. It's more to do with the growth within the people that come here. So
yeah, definitely.
Your made it moment, your moment where you sort of felt like, oh, I think we've made it here. Like, I think we've done.
Being on the Hustlers podcast.
There you go.
Well, you must not have done much exciting things.
This is a flash setup. For me, I guess it was when we bought a house.
Yeah.
Because,
hard.
when we came over, we had money in the pocket to help get something started. But I guess what some people don't realise is we lived in a bit of a shitter, even when we had started in the premise behind us. So, it was just a 2-bedroom. I don't think we had an oven.
No,
we had one
it
of
was
those
like a camp cooker thing.
In the house.
It was like mouldy, like...
It wasn't that long ago, but like humble beginnings as far as Bout and how that all started. So going from that environment, we just bought a house. I think that's pretty cool. Yeah,
that's
definitely
awesome.
a made it moment for sure.
Same.
Same for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Are you guys going to open another Bout?
Not on the cards.
I reckon it's on the cards. See what happens.
We would
Tossing
like to, but we're so busy already. If the right person kind of wants to do it with us, and one of our staff, or someone that we think fits well with our brand and our vision, then maybe. But we
definitely
can't
do it
it
between ourselves.
Yeah,
It's
of
just
course.
spread too thin between the two. So
And it'll probably take a massive toll on your personal life and your life itself
100%.
outside of the business.
Yeah, and we don't ever want to do that will take away from what we've got now, and we don't want to be taken away from the other two gyms to do that. So
definitely think you guys got more to give, but at the same time, I think it's got to be aware about how you're gonna you're gonna do it, because you definitely don't want it to affect your personal life.
Definitely.
Last one is, are you guys going to fight again?
Hopefully.
You're G'd up, ready to go?
Yeah, I've just got back into training
I've seen that,
month.
Yep.
And I've got my name down on a few shows, so I'm just waiting to get matched now. So haven't done that in a while, but up for the challenge, excited.
Jeez.
Get back in there.
Yourself, are you going to do it again?
I fought not that long ago, had a pretty good win there. One of the motivators for that fight was, I guess, to be able to fight in front of my friends and family again, because I did most of my fighting in Oz, so no one really saw. So that was a huge motivator to get G'd up for. But if there's a shiny belt on offer, then I'd be keen to. I think that's what the go is anyway. So down for that, definitely.
What about that? Was it a Bout boxing night? Did you guys, was
Oh,
that
yeah.
you guys?
So we,
Yeah.
it was not our show.
Yeah.
Cairo and the team in Hamilton put on an awesome show that we took about 8 members to compete
Right.
in it. Yeah, we do
Was
that
there
once
heaps
a
of
year.
other people as well? Like,
Yeah, there was like a
Yeah.
few
oh,
gyms.
you fought against other.
other gyms.
Oh,
Other gyms,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Oh,
So we
that's
do that
awesome.
once a year. For,
Already
you
got
know,
people like
lined
chomping
up
at the
for
bit,
next
lined
one.
up for next year, which is cool.
Have you thought about doing your own one?
Oh no, just it's massive. It's really hard.
Yeah, right. The
the-
logistics behind it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
just there's a lot of pressure. Like I would just hate, like, you know, if something went wrong. Or
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Like
it's
event.
massive. But we love it. Like War in the Waikato, they put on a wicked event, and we love supporting it.
Yeah.
And you know, we can be with our team.
Yeah.
And without actually organising it, like Battle of the Bouts, we are always organising it and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas it's really cool for us. It gives us a bit of that passion back to when we were coaches.
Yeah.
You know, and we just
focus on
vibed
fighting
off it.
and-
and we
yeah.
can just take our team, do
Yeah.
our thing, leave, go celebrate.
Nice.
It was really cool.
Mean. Well, thank you for your guys' time.
Thank you, bro.
Thanks for
Thank
jumping
you.
on. Thanks for letting us come in here and
Anytime.
and sharing a bit of your story. A lot of people are going to take a lot from this, and I think what a lot of my guests sort of realise afterwards is that they don't at the time is they don't really realise how much of an effect you're having on some people. Some person might listen to this and think, I'm going to do what I always wanted to do, or I'm going to start what I wanted to start because of that. So,
No, awesome. Definitely go get it.
and so I thank you guys for jumping on. Is there anything you want to finish with, or
No,
Well, good. Thank
easy
you for
peasy.
having us.
Thanks, bro.
legends? All right, thanks heaps.
Keen.